to it, you. For today's video, with a full Tynamo Evolution team, we got Tynamo, Eelektrik, and Eelektross. Super Bowser, this one is for you. They only have one ability, which is Levitate. So Levitate normally isn't the greatest ability, but on Eelektross, not Electrode, boom, that's really good because it's an electric type and it's going to be immune to ground types, which makes it really, really good for such a basic ability. I've got 4 battles today with the Tynamo Evolution team. Bit of a long video today, and we got a battle here. This one is against Minty. This is a battle, random battle on the Poke Portal. So really, really long video today, and I hope you enjoy. So my first Pokemon is going to be Eelektross. This is an Assault Vested Eelektross. Great item for Eelektross, I really feel. The thing I really, really like about Eelektross, because this is one of my favorite 5th Gen Pokemon, its stats are really cool. It learns a lot of different types of moves, so it's very, very versatile. So it could be a physical attacker, a special attacker, tanky. It can do so many, really, really cool things. Anyway, so we have a Tinglu lead into the Sylveon. So I went for Giga Drain on the Tinglu, did some really, really good damage. We got the Sylveon having the red card, so getting rid of my Eelektross out of the battle. Interesting. I say that's their combination with spikes and stealth rock and stuff like that. So bringing in my Eelektrik here, but question of the day, what do you think of Eelektross? I think it's a really cool Pokemon. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoy the videos, people, if you want to support the channel, make sure you hit that like button. All right, we're going to dig Sylveon here. Now, I got to say this, right? I've versed so many people with this team. I reckon I did close to 30 to 40 battles at least with this team. Out of those 40 battles, at least 15 of the battles, people really didn't know what Tynamo Eelektross had as an ability. So they'd go for an Earthquake or Earth's Power, and it was really interesting. I guess they'd never seen these Pokemon before and didn't really know. Anyway, so we've got a little bit of a pit fight, especially on the Electrite set. We've got Zap Cannon, Flash Cannon, Terra Blast, Water, and Volt Switch. We got item as Everlight, Max Health, and Max Special Attack, Modest Nature. So in comes Inteleon, which is actually a Zoroark. So I don't know whether... What? It's got a Flame Orb. This is... Oh, watch this. This is really funny. So they had a Zoroark, right, with a Flame Orb, and then they used Trick. And they tricked the Flame Orb onto my Electrike. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I kind of see what they're going to do. So they got rid of my Everlight. Zap Cannon, unfortunately, missed there. I wouldn't have got paralyzed anyway. And they're now burned, right? So... when they went for their next turn, it was really interesting. So I thought they'd go for their signature move, but instead they went for knockoff. So they were burned, so their attack was halved, and then they got rid of my Flame Orb. I have no idea what they were thinking. Some Galaxy Brain strategies there. I don't know why it's called Rock either. I have no idea. But this person was was confusing the heck out of me. And they're like, you just watch this entire battle. Anyway, so my Zoroark is going to hit me with a Shadow Ball there. I just hang on a tiny little bit of health, and I'm going to finish off with the Volt Switch. That's the end of the rock. Next Pokemon is going to be Tynamo. Now, Tynamo literally gets 3 or 4 moves, and that's all it actually learns. So we got Mew here. Mew's going to be going for our Ancient Power on Tynamo. This Tynamo, I think this is my bulky Tynamo, and I say that one pretty loosely. It was max health and max special defense. Now this Tynamo has got Terra Blast, Thunder Wave, Spark, and Tackle. And it's an absolute unit of a set. So it's going to this has got Bright. I think this is a Bright Powder. So I actually had quite a couple of Tynamos here. I had a Bright Powder one and a Rocky Helmet one too. I kept swapping the items around so I could try and do some different builds with it, which was pretty hard because it's a Tynamo. Anyway, Tynamo got wrecked there by the Mew. That was also a Terra Fire Tynamo too. Next Pokemon is going to be Eelektrik number 2, and it's going to use Magical Leap. What is this Moveset? Anyway, we're going to be going for a U-turn here on the Mew. Some pretty good damage. That Eelektrik was U-turn, Wild Charge, Crunch, and Acrobatics with a Citrus Berry as the item, Max Health and Max Attack, Item Nature. So bringing back the burnt Eelektrik from its encounter with the rock there, and Mew's going to be able to outspeed and faint my Eelektrik anyway. I just thought I might be able to use it later on. It's going to go for a Smart Strike. What is this set? It's Magical Leaf, Smart Strike. I forgot what the other moves are, but man, that was a wild Mew set, that's for sure. How about that Mewtwo raid? Is anyone struggling on that? I can Or I can definitely understand if you are. The Mewtwo raid came out yesterday for Scarlet and Violet. Anyway, so we've got a paralysis on the Mew here. I've got my Eelektrik. I'm going to go for a crunch here. It's going to pack a little bit of a punch. That's going to be enough to take out Mew in 2 hits. This Mew, there was really no way it could actually faint me then. I thought they just let it faint, then they swapped it out. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Then they went into Flaria. I don't know what these nicknames mean. I have no idea. Can anyone, does anyone understand what these nicknames even mean? I'm so confused right now. So Flareon goes for a Shadow Ball. That's not going to faint me, but they get a lucky special defense drop. So I guess that was all right. I'm going to get my Citrus Berry here. So now I can go for a fully powered Acrobatics. I've got Terra Flying on this too, if you were wondering. Unfortunately, Acrobatics just misses the KO. I take some more damage. Now they're going to go for a Lava Plume. So with that special attack drop, special defense drop, that's easily going to be able to take me out. So swapping in the mighty Tynamo here. Now one of these Tynamos, actually this Tynamo had Terra Steel. No, this is the Terra Fire one. The other one had Terra Steel. So Terra Blast, Thunder Wave, Spark, and Tackle was the last move there. I lived on 6 health there, and I managed to unload a normal Terra Blast crit on the Flareon and take it out there. So it's always nice when you get a Tynamo KO. Now, people, I've done a Tynamo sweep before. It is an incredible Pokemon sweep. I'm going to leave the link below in the description of the video. If anyone checks out the Tynamo sweep and leaves a comment there, I'll give you a little heart as well. It's a really, really good Pokemon sweep. You should definitely check it out. I did it quite a number of years ago, but it's an oldie but a goldie, right? Our next Pokemon is going to be this, I tried to go for a Tackle KO there, but then, you watch this one, you wouldn't read about it. They terrored their Sylveon here. I'm like, okay, I wonder what you're going to do. They went for Terra Ground. I'm like, wow, okay, so they had a really, really good Terrier, because I just went for Spark to try and faint the Sylveon. So I went for the Spark here. Obviously, it's not going to do anything, and then you watch this, right? This one has Bright Powder. Draining Kiss misses due to the Bright Powder. I started laughing here. Then I went for a Terra Blast, right? And my game lagged. And then I got the Terra Blast. They actually didn't even take it out. And then Bright Powder kicked in again. And then they had to swap. I was on the floor laughing at this bloke. So I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Anyway, so here comes your boy Ting Lu. And I went for Tackle there. Tackle did a thumping 1 damage. Then I followed up with another Terra Blast here. Basically, I couldn't do anything at all. So it's going to go for a Rock Slide to finish off my Tynamo. Now, important things here as well, people. Speaking of Pokemon sweeps, I managed to get an Eelektross sweep. One of the Eelektross on this team did get a sweep. I'm going to be putting this sweep up a little bit later on too. Let me know if you are excited to see that. I've never actually put an Eelektross sweep up on my channel, even though I'd really like it. I'm not sure why I've never done it, but I managed to get one while I was doing this team. Anyways, this Eelektross is my Assault Vest one. I'm going to follow up with a couple of Giga Drains, and that is the end of Ting Lu. We still have quite a sizable amount of Pokeball left. There's quite a few Pokemon that are on a low amount of health left on this person's team. So the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Inteleon. I'm like, all right, well, I almost went for Terra there. I've got Terra Electric, so it wouldn't have changed anything. I went for a T-Bolt. They went for Ice Beam, and that did not take me out due to my softness. I thought they may go for a Water move, but since I didn't have a super exciting Terra on Eelektross, I just gave it an Electric because it's really, really good still. There's not a lot of point in swapping it around unless you had Terra Fire or something like that. But anyway, I cleaned up these last couple of Pokemon here. We did a little bit of a disrespect on that Sylveon there. But what was this battle? Can anyone tell me what was going on in this battle? It was absolute craziness. So that's the end of the Sylveon, and that's the end of the battle with Minty. Man, Minty, whoever you are, I have no idea what went in that battle, but it was pretty funny, so that's why I thought I'd include it. Our next battle, this one is against Water World, and this was a pretty competitive team. This one was a Screamtail lead. Now, a lot of the time you see a Screamtail as the lead, you're probably going to expect Stealth Rock here. So we've got the Stealth Rocks on the field, which is neither here nor there. I don't have any Focus Sashes, so it's all good. We're going to go for Thunder Wave here, and that's going to be paralyzing Screamtail. Now, there's not a lot of damage I can do here. Now, Eelektross is obviously my most powerful Pokemon, both the Eelektross on this team. So I don't pack a huge punch on my other Pokemon. It's actually quite a difficult team to do. Tynamo is absolutely terrible, and Eelektrik is okay, but I I didn't really run my best, sweatiest Eelektrik set, so I got these really good ones with like Rest, Sleep, Talk, and Super Fang, but a couple of those moves actually got, taken away. So they're going to go for Earth Power. Obviously, they didn't know what Tynamo's ability was there. I mean, I can't say I really blame them because who uses a Tynamo other than like, me or someone like trolling. And now they're going to go out the Palisade into Quagsire. Now, my only play against Quagsire, well, my best play, would be to swap in my Eelektross that has Giga Drain. Now, the thing about Eelektross is it can be physical, it can be special. You never really know what it is until you start seeing some of its moves. It can even run mixed as well, so it's a very versatile Pokemon. I absolutely love it. So we're going to swap into Eelektross here. The Quagsire is going to go for Liquidation. Obviously, they can't go for Earthquake because my entire team is Levitate. Now I've got the opportunity to go for a Giga Drain, get some health back. They stayed in, which is really, really good. I would have definitely struggled with my other team because... yeah, I mean, really, once you take both these Eelektrosses away, this team is kind of... it really is trash, right? So that's the end of Quagsire. Next one is Lurantis. I'm like, oh, this is good. I can go for a Flamethrower. That'll be nice. So I'm going for that Flamethrower there. They absolutely have Assault Vest. That was way too tanky. Now they're going to go for a Leaf Storm. I've also got Assault Vest, so I'm able to live that first attack. Initially really, really good. But the problem is now they actually got a +2 in special attack from the contrary. So the second Leaf Storm is just probably going to be enough to take out my Eelektross there, sadly. But Lurantis is very, very slow. Even Eelektross outspit it. So there is a little bit of hope here to actually take it out with my second Eelektross. So I'm going to go into this Eelektross. This is probably the best set on my team, or the second best one, or it's got the potential of getting a good sweep. We got a Coil, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, and Resto, Chesto Eelektross. I outspent the Lurantis there. I gave it a good punch, and that is going to be the end of that. So that would have ended up sweeping my entire team for sure. Next Pokemon is going to be Screamtail. It is paralyzed, and I can take advantage of that with maybe one of my other Pokemon. So I was like, let's go into Eelektrik. I want to see what other moves this thing actually has. So taking some damage there from the Stealth Rocks. I know that I've got Citrus Berry. I thought, well, I can, go for Acrobatics. Full base power, that would do, 1 damage to Screamtail. So they did a double swap there. They swapped it in, and then they swapped it out, and then went to Palisand. I'm like, okay. This Palisand was a very, very big problem, too, because they had an easy swap in for any electric-type moves. The fortunate thing is I did have Crunch, and I got a crit there, which is okay. But I know, judging on the movesets that they're using, their competitive sets, so it'll definitely have Shore Up. Like, they weren't running any memes at all. So I went for Acrobatics. Pretty good damage there. And here comes the Shore Up from Palisand. So I absolutely needed to get rid of this thing. I really only had one or two Pokemon that could do that too. Actually, I had one Pokemon because my Coil, Drain Punch, Thunder Punch set was completely walled. So I was really worried, like, man, if I don't take this out with one of my Eelektrides or both of them, I'm done. I have to get rid of this thing. So that's one of my Eelektrides gone there. There's nothing I can do. It's obviously nowhere near as good as Palisand. And we're going to go into my other Eelektride. This one, however, was my two sort of step plan here. So I softened it up with a Crunch, and I was like, they will never ever expect Territorialized Water. Unless the opponent is obviously knows of. I don't know. Like I was using very unpredictable sort of stats here in Pokemon, right? So I definitely didn't think they'd expect this. So I went for the Terra Water. I probably wouldn't do that because it's Electrike, but I absolutely had to here. I'm going for the Terra Blast Water. I'm hoping it faints it, and that was just enough there, which is very, very good. So that's another counter out the way. So that was a huge counter for sure. Next Pokemon is Slitherwing, and I don't know what I can even do. Like, how much more can I squeeze out of this team to stay in the battle? Like, I was already really happy with how things were going here, but I was starting to run out of good Pokemon. So I had 2 Tynamos left, which are pretty much worthless, and Electrike and 1 Eelektross left. So they won't go the Terra Bug. They're going to go for Terra Leech Life. Now, this does have actually an Everlight on it, and I lived. I was like, wow, I'd risk a Zap Cannon here. It landed and it paralyzed. I'm like, yes, that was so good. That was really my only hope to get around this Pokemon. So now they're going to swap it out, and they're going to go into Screamtail. So I really had them on the ropes here. I was like, all I got to do is take out maybe this, one more Pokemon, and I'm pretty good, because the last Pokemon I knew that I could deal with my Eelektross with Drain Punch, right? So that is going to be the end of the Eelektrik. I squeezed absolutely everything out of that Pokemon build there, which was, performed very, very well. So all I've got left is 2 Tynamo and an Eelektross. So you might as well say I've got 1 Eelektross. So this Eelektross is a bulky coil set, so I need to start setting up some coils here. I know that I can tank out pretty much all of these attacks, depending on what it has, though, of course. So the move the opponent used, unfortunately, was Perish Song. So I'm like, all right, what I need to do here is I need to make sure I can feint one of the two other Pokemon, because I know they're going to probably try and, stall this out. And once they get rid of my Eelektross, there's absolutely nothing I can do, right? I've got 2 Tynamo left. So I'm getting a couple of coils up here, and I'm thinking they're probably going to swap very, very soon. So I wanted to get 2 coils up at least, and then use either Thunder Punch, or I also got Drain Punch too. I didn't want to risk Drain Punch because there was the Slitherwing there, and I was like, oh, the Dunsparce comes in. So the Dunsparce would have got one-shotted there by Drain Punch. Unfortunately, I've got 1 count left, so I got to swap it out. So, all right, well, I'll go with the Tynamo here, then I'll bring back my Eelektross, and I'll be able to go for a Drain Punch there, because I know that I can live in pretty much any attack. So it seems to be a special Boom Bursting Dunsparce. It has a Throat Spray too, so it's going to do a lot of damage there, but I am max health and max special defense, and I've got like... Careful Nature. Careful Nature. So here comes the Boom Burst, and I got credit there. I was going to go for the Drain Punch, and yeah, that's pretty much it. My last Pokemon is Tynamo. I accidentally pressed the A button, and I think I was on like the run from battle, but they won anyway there. But it would have been really cool to see who would have won that if they didn't get a crit, because I know that I would have lived that. And I would have Drain Punch and finished the Dunsparce off. And their last 2 Pokemon were paralyzed, weren't they? So I still had Rest, and I could set up Core. So I think I confidently say I would have won that battle if I didn't get critted. But still a really cool battle. It's just a shame we didn't really get to see the true ending for it. So next Pokemon there, it's Pokemon battle. I'm not really sure who my opponent's name is here. We've got a bit of a counter here. So we've got a Phantom Force. I mean, not that it's hard to counter a Tynamo. We got a Phantom Force Dragapulse. That's going to one-shot me. So I'm like, all right, well, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get a Paralyze on it. But it's very, very difficult when you're using Tynamo because it mostly gets one-shotted. So we got another Phantom Force here. So it seems to be a physical Dragapult. Thunderwave's going to miss. I was hoping the bulky set would live, but unfortunately it did not live. So that is the end. I got a little bit of Rocky Helmet damage on the second one, though, which is okay. So that's... Virtually, when you're using Tynamo, you've pretty much got a team of 4 versus 6 straight up there. Next Pokemon is Eelektrik. This is a lot bulkier. I've got Zap Cannon. I was like, well, what would be the most handiest move here? I was like, let's see if... what I was trying to do, I was trying to get a setup with the Eelektross. I thought, if this thing is using a 2-turn move, I might be able to take advantage of that with Foil, So I risked the Zap Cannon here, and it landed. I was like, cool. So I didn't really care about the damage. I was more caring about the paralysis. So I got some good damage, so that was all right. So I've got that Paralyze going. I was like, all right, what I'm going to do is swap into my Eelektross here. I want to see if I can set some coils up, because I may go for a... general attacking move here, and they went for Dragon Darts. It's like, damn, that sucks. I was hoping they'd go for a Phantom Force. So I lost almost half my health at this point. I was like, I'm pretty sure I can chance a coil here. So they still outspeed me with the paralysis, because it's a very, very fast Pokemon, of course, and this Eelektross has nothing in speed. So I've got a +1. I know that I can live that. And what I'm going to do this turn is go for a Rest, because I've got Resto in chest. So just like the last battle, I never really got to use that. I would have been able to recover and sweep. So this is designed as a late game sweeper. It is a little bit prone to getting critical hitted, though, as like most bulky building Pokemon are. So Eelektross is going to close its eyes, and it's going to be sleeping, and now I'm going to wake up. So I'm in a pretty powerful position now, because Dragapult is paralyzed, and they either have to swap out, or they've got to rely on a 2-turn move there that I can set up on. They can go for Dragon Dart, sure, but I'm going to get a lot of coils up while they do that. So I'm getting some more coils up here. I'm trying to get this Eelektross sweep. I thought this would be a really good, try and get it against such a good matchup there. So I've got the paralysis going here, and I've got the Phantom Force going for me at the moment, and I'm hoping they can get paralyzed before they hit me with Phantom Force, but unfortunately they don't, and then they critted me. I'm like, oh, come on, not again. So I got critted again. I did get another coil up here. I'm like, they're going to go for a Dragon Darts here. I know they are, right? So I went for Rest here. I know they don't have a Chesto Berry. They got paralyzed. I was like, yes. So that's some, I guess that's some karma there, because they were lucky to get that much damage, and obviously I was definitely well set up to be able to live that easy peasy. I don't even think they would have done. It would have done under half health. So now they've got to mix it with Dragapulse. So that Dragapulse, I'd say, would have almost fainted me, because I'm not boosting my special, obviously. I'm boosting my defensive side. So now Eelektross is asleep. I've still got 2 turns of sleep. I'm a sitting duck at the moment. They got paralyzed again. I'm like, yes, I need more paralysis, even more. So I woke up there, which is great. Now went for Thunder Punch just to finish it off, and that is the end of Dragapult. I didn't really want to risk too many more coils there. I felt like they would have rage quitted or got another crit. All right, next Pokemon is going to be Koraidon. I'm like, oh, here we go. The only good thing is it is a physical attacker, so I should be able to live this. So here comes the collision course on my Eelektross, and Eelektross actually lives that very, very easy. So I'm like, great. Now, I've got +4 in attack here. Drain Punch isn't quite a 2-hit KO, but I'm getting some alright amounts of health back there. Now, there is a couple of other Pokemon in the back here that are special attackers too, so I had to bear that one in mind that I needed a lot of health there. I couldn't carelessly set up coils because they might swap out and go into special attacker, so I had to be kind of cautious there. At this stage, it was probably better just to keep attacking. So the Drain Punch did nothing from the opposing Koraidon. I guess they tried to do that, but the low base power, and I was too bulky with the coils. They went for another collision course, and I'm going to finish it off with the Drain Punch. So now I'm in a very good position against physical attackers. So I'm very, very bulky. I've got Drain Punch there for sustain, and I've got Thunder Punch, for stab as well. And I've also got Terra Electric. Now, the next Pokemon is Chestnut. I'm like, oh, another physical attacker. This is good. But I know they've got special attackers. So what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to get my Eelektross onto a low amount of health. That's what I was thinking anyway. So I went for another coil. I thought they may try and chance a spiky shield, but they went for a wood hammer instead. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, this is pretty funny. So I went for a coil here. Remember I was talking about lots of people forgetting about Eelektross's ability. So this turn, they actually ended up going for an Earthquake against my Eelektross. So they kept going for they went for that before. Like they did Wood Hammers and initial Earthquake. So I was able to get that off. So now I can go for Drain Punch. Unfortunately, I didn't one-shot it. I was hoping that I would, but Chestnut has got a lot of bulk to it, and I've got no attack EVs at all. So they went for a last hurrah there with a Stone Edge crit. That would have been very, very bad if that critted. And Eelektross did not get critted, and now Chestnut is going to be going down. So I'm desperately trying to get this sweep going. It's been a slog. I've got 3 Pokemon. Next Pokemon is, it's a Naughty Hackmon. This is the Pokemon I was talking about. Now I have to go for the Drain Punch here because there's another special attacker in the back that's powerful and faster than me too. So I would have gone for Terra Electric here, but I thought it was the wrong play because I know this is really, really going to hurt. So obviously I'm going to get outsped here. Here comes the Terra Psychic. And Terra Psychic does a lot of damage there. I'm going to be put on 36 health. I had to go for a Drain Punch, and Drain Punch was just not enough to take it out, unfortunately. So that is the end of my attempt of Eelektross sweep. Once again, I could have feinted it with Thunder Punch, but then the next Pokemon would have come in and fainted me. So there was no way I could have got that sweep unless I got I set up more at the start and risked getting critted, or I got a Drain Punch crit. That's pretty much it. So we're going to go to my second Eelektross. So I thought I can still salvage this battle here. I can go for Thunderbolt. Here comes the Terra Psychic. This is an Assault Vest set, so I knew I'd be able to live it. Even a crit, I felt like I might just live that. And yeah, look at the damage it did to me. That's like wasn't even under half. So that is the end of the Naughty Hack Azelf. And now we've got 2 more Pokemon. There's 1 more physical attacker, and there's 1 more special attacker. Now, the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Ironheads. This is the physical attacker, and I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower. I know that'll do some okay damage. I also got Giga Drain too. They may try a Belly Drum, but they ended up cancelling the battle. I was like, come on. But that's it, people. Their last Pokemon, by the way, was a Charizard too. So it was going to be able to outspeed me and feint me. So, it is what it is, right? So let's go to the last battle. This one is against Leeton. We have a full mirror match here. So they've called their Tynamo Muck. I've got no idea why. And so we've got 2 Tynamo, 2 Eelektrik, and 2 Eelektross versus the same team. So they had some pretty interesting nicknames as well. Now, this battle went for an absorbent amount of time. It was ages, right? Now, I did cut a big section out the back of it, but it was pretty funny. So the next Pokemon out here, this is going to be a very educational battle for you people, very, you not only do you learn about battles, you learn about educational things you need to learn in life. So we got this, acid spray from the Eelektrik, and it's dropping my special defense. So I don't like that. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch there because that is safe, and I'm going to be swapping that out into another Pokemon. So I thought, let's go into my little Tynamo here. Now, Tynamo really can't do a lot. However, I thought I may try and go for a Terra Tynamo. I like that Terra Tynamo. So this was the Terra Fire one. Now, what was the other? I swear the other one was Terra... Oh, the other one was Terra Steel. Yeah, because I made it have like a little axe on its head. It looked pretty funny. So that is the tiniest chandelier you ever see in life. Look how small it is. It's super, super small. Anyway, so we're going to get hit by the acid spray. It's still doing like ginormous amounts of damage. Tynamo is going to unleash the beast there. And unfortunately, it was not quite enough to take out the Eelektrik. I think I'd say they're probably running an Everlight, but even, let's say even with Everlight, Tynamo's attack and special attack is kind of bad, but, to say the least. So that's the end of my Terra Pokemon. I was like, I hope I don't regret doing that. But really, seriously, with Eelektross, though, there's not a lot of point Terring unless you're going to go Terra Electric. That's about it, because it's such a good type and ability. All right, out comes your boy Trojan XL, and, I'm sure you know all about them. So we're going to get hit by a Flamethrower here. I'm just going to go for Terra Blast. There's not a lot I can do with this matchup. Basically, we're just firing beams at each other. So here comes another Flamethrower. You got a couple of troubles there if it's on fire, that's for sure. You might need to, might be like a hot and spicy chili flavor or something like that. Oh, so next Pokemon is going to be Eelektross. Now we're both doing flamethrowers at each other. There's a bit of I don't know, a bit of hot action going on, a little bit of friction, and we're going to keep going flamethrower over and over again against each other. Not really doing a lot of damage. We also have Giga Drain. I'd say we've almost got the same sort of set, like a completely special set. Judging on the damage that they're doing to me, and then let me have a look. Yeah, I think we both got I feel like we've both got Assault Vest. I don't think it's used any other like status move. So we could potentially be exactly the same movesets here, or like at least EV spread an item. So here comes another Flamethrower from the Eelektross. I think I can live like one more, but I went for a Disrespect Acid Spray. And that is the end of the opposing Eelektross. Man, that was a top battle there. Out comes Sus, which is the Tynamo. Oh, right, and it's going to go for a Terra, but I lived on 8 health there, and now I'm going to go for a Flamethrower here. Now, you watch this. This is really, really salty. I got a burn on, like, the last little bit of health there, so the Tynamo is going to faint there. Unfortunately, it was going along the path there, and, it just died. So that's the end of the Tynamo. We got 2 more left. Well, we got right before you tap, of course. See, I didn't nickname my Pokemon stuff like this because I'm a very mature person. So we've got the a Terra Electrike, and it's going to be Terra Normal. Like, ooh, I wonder what this set's going to be. I wonder, right? So I was kind of thinking, what normal moves does this get? I mean, I know, but I'm trying to think, like, what would it be? And it's going to be Vine, and I was like, oh, I get it right before you tap because of the Vine. So that is the end of the Eelektross there, and that's half my team gone. So next Tynamo, oh, there's like a rainbow in the background there. I went for a Thunder Wave and a miss. I always missed a lot with this Tynamo with Thunder Wave, and we're gonna have a coil wrap set. I absolutely need to feint this thing. It's going to be really, really bulky. So what I did is I got the Thunder Wave off, and I thought, well, I might be able to hit this with some of my other Pokemon. I even might be able to set it up on it with like my Drain Punch set, but I need to get a Paralyze going. So I went for the Charge Beam here, and I got a Special Attack Boost. Like, oh, I might be able to get some good damage here. Here comes a Bind +1 Terra. It almost takes out my Tynamo in one shot. That's how sad this is here. However, I got some Rocky Helmet damage there, which is pretty good. Like, you gotta, before you tap, you gotta check for Rocky Helmets. So anyway, here comes the Charge Beam here. It's gonna need a lot more damage there. So here comes another Bind. That is the end of Tynamo. I like how the Bind like completely covers Tynamo because it's such a small little Pokemon, right? So there's 2 more ones there. So we got Eelektrik and a Eelektross left. So I went for a Wild Charge here. It just missed actually faint here, and I got a little bit of recoil, and then there was a Paralysis. So I can finish it off here. I was like, I wonder what move I should use. And I was like, let's use for a Disrespect Acrobatics with a held item. So that is the end of the Eelektrik, which is cool. Next Pokemon is going to be their last Pokemon called Wrap Your Pickle. This is a pickle-free video, and it's also going to have Drain Punch. I'm like, oh no. You know what's going to happen here, right? You can already see what's going to happen. So their item is Leftovers. So it's a little bit different to my Eelektross because it's got Bulk Up. My one's got Coil. So they've got Bulk Up, I've got Coil. We both have Drain Punch. You can definitely see where this is going to go. So I've got one more Eelektross left. Now, this is very, very very, very interesting here. So they kept setting up bulk up. Now they're going to go for a liquidation. And that put me on 47 health, which is now going to activate my citrus berry. At this stage, I was like, nah, I can't do anything to this. I better start, actually, doing some of my own boosting there with coil. So I ended up going for a U-turn and going into my own Eelektross. Now, this bit, I had to cut a good 10 minutes out of the battle. So let me summarize. I did coils, the opponent did bulk ups, and we pretty much maxed them out to +6. So that kind of summarizes that bit there. I'm obviously not going to play that entire part because it's very, very long and, sort of monotonous sort of thing. But anyway, that's what happened. 50 seconds left of the battle here. I'm drain punching. The Eelektross is liquidating. Oh, I didn't mean to say that, but that's what the move is. So it's drain punch and liquidation here. And liquidation was actually doing a little bit more damage. I think I had a couple of I might have had like a couple of defense drops, and I kept losing the speed tie too. I go for drain punch. They've got leftovers and they've got drain punch too. So I think they had a slight amount of more recovery than me. And 2 seconds to go, they took my Eelektross out. Now, you wouldn't read about it. I had one Pokemon left. Now, remember that Electrite from before? It had 90 health left. So this is the last thing. The Eelektross had 85 health left and I had 90, and I ended up winning because of that. What a crazy battle, people. Peace out.